We had great gifts, and we gave it up all up for both God and Mammon, both. We gave it up to the high priests. It's your job. It's God's will. That's what they say. People say it's God's will. That means God can do anything he wants, so why pray? They say, you pray for something. Okay, he didn't answer my prayers. Well, it's God's will. Well, if it's God's will, why did I even pray in the first place? He's going to do what he wants anyway. We gave it all up to superstition, primitive superstition, primitive shit. Invisible man in the sky looking down, keeping track of what we do, make sure we don't do the wrong thing. If we do, he puts us in hell and we burn forever. That kind of shit is very limiting. It's very limiting for this brain we have. So we keep ourselves limited, and then we want a toy and a gizmo and gold, and we want shiny things, and we want something to plug in that'll make big things for us. And all that shit is nothing.
Album number 3, Resistance, bitch. It's the one and only Smoke. Stand the fuck up. If you don't, really, what the fuck are you worth? Stand on my own 2 feet. I'm a grown-ass man, fuck bragging on beats. I'll never really sleep till I'm 6 feet deep. Sometimes I have dreams where I see that staring at me. Eternities and eternity away every single day. Wait and make it change. Just a minimum wage. Stay long enough and you can swallow your pride, because this is the joke that is your life. Why won't you stand? Are you really that broken? Here's the money really got you that low on the totem. Metaphorical scrotum is what you seem to lack. Just find a way to put that spine in your back. Like me, I used to do it too, just like you. Then I found a way to something very new. I grabbed the mic and started spitting bars like a gun. Now they call me Smoke, the fucking army of one. The fucking army of one. Listen to the sounds of helicopters filling the sky. See the flag, don't it fill you with that American pride? No, me neither. It's the land of the fraud. Watch the politicians try to act like God. Odds are it won't last another 50 years. I see it tearing at the seams and dreams. Fully aware of the collapse of the corruption as it buckles under its own weight. And martial law is imposed by the police state. Great Britain's even further along this road than us. With mass unemployment, the rich just sneer and discuss. Must just be that we remind them of who they really are. Behind the suits, the house, the hoes, the fancy cars. Just another homo sapien trapped in infinite existence. Never cheat the reaper, no matter what they envision. Untwisted logic like that's what got me on the run. Just like 8 billion other living armies of one. sound of gunshots awakens me from my deepest sleep. In weeks, I wonder who will be the next to rest in peace. Speak from the heart, but always use your head. Never trust the preconceived programming you've been fed. Let it believe that you're nothing, you know, just another number. Stomach full of hunger, heart full of wonder, under the impression that it's less than it is, when really its potential influence is limitless. Infinite bliss preceded by a lifetime of struggle, decades of trouble, ended in a bloody puddle. Muddled thoughts are all that Fox News evokes. Find out how much tension and dissension they can provoke. Open your mind to the possibility you don't know it all. The Pope's just another damn brick in the wall, stalling the inevitable change in the hearts of the people as to whether or not what he's doing is illegal. Every second you waste, man, you'll never get it back. That's why I put my heart into spreading conscious rap. Understand it and job and feeling like you're trapped. But true change won't come from Republicans and Democrats. Fake atrocities, crisis actors got you thinking of contrived conditions. Please just think about it. Truth is stranger than fiction. My mission is simple. Shed the light of the truth on the blind. Listen to me closely, dude. You gotta free your mind. Free your mind from the United Nations mental enslavement. Break the chrysalis that they got your logic encased in. Masons are lacing lies inside of their temples. They tremble under a wrath that's environmental. Central Intelligence Agency, Project Bluebeam Array. My control of the masses, holographic beams ricochet. State of emergency creates the fate of mankind. Unless you can think critically and open your mind. Free your mind from the United Nations mental enslavement. Break the chrysalis that they got your logic encased in. Masons are lacing lies inside of their temples that tremble under a wrath that's environmental. Central Intelligence Agency, Project Bluebeam Array. My control of the masses, holographic beams ricochet. State of emergency creates the fate of mankind. Unless you can think critically and open your mind. Let all your preconceptions just fade to dust, because even the strongest steel still succumbs to rust. Mustard gas and phosgene used in World War I, replaced by white phosphorus to burn Israeli opposition. Zechariah Sitchin and the tale of the Anunnaki preceded a dissertation on extra-dimensional bodies. Super soldiers, my control is in a national conspiracy. Political motives killing devoted by thousands. Are you hearing me? Weary from the intellectual warfare we're stuck in. Apollo moon landed deception as revenge for Sputnik, making the public believe anything that could wreck them. When all of the money was spent on secret Cold War weapons, stressing a natural debt that's completely fictitious, because a country's controlled by the Fed's avaricious policies, monetary deflation, Keynesian economics, DAPA surveillance drones, IHMC robotics. Free your mind from the United Nations mental enslavement. Break the chrysalis that they got your logic encased in. Masons are lacing lies inside of their temples. They tremble under a wrath that's environmental. Central Intelligence Agency, Project Bluebeam Array. My control of the masses, holographic beams ricochet. State of emergency creates the fate of mankind. Unless you can think critically and open your mind. Free your mind from the United Nations mental enslavement. Break the chrysalis that they got your logic encased in. Masons are lacing lies inside of the temples. They tremble under a wrath that's environmental. Central Intelligence Agency, Project Bluebeam Array. My control of the masses, holographic beams ricochet. State of emergency creates the fate of mankind. Unless you can think critically and open your mind. It's the state of a union, deep in disrepair. Class warfare in the street as martial law is declared. Prepared for disaster, now they call me a prep. Ready at the door for the debt collectors. Body armor, black masks, and shotgun blasts. The sound shatters the glass with a bang and a flash. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Shit, who could trust the Supreme Court justice? Antonin Scalia and the secret society, international order of St. Hubertus. Questions causing anxiety. Lie to me on the TV and you live like a king. Lie upon the stand to get the legal injection machine. Dream of a better world, don't forget to make it real. Will we ever see our species past get revealed? Without empathy, how can we expect anything else? Trying to hospital regenesis scandal on the stealth. Wealth acquisition at the expense of life. How many more people gotta die tonight? At the edge of a crater or at the feet of a cop? Or in a secret cell, this hellish murder's gotta stop. It's not though until we all stand against it. Ignore the chatterboxes with divisive incentives. Splendid. Now if only we had a couple more people, we'd be able to petition redress of grievances legal. But that's always been our downfall, lack of logic. Whoever said the masses made changes, philanthropic. Optics in order, might have seen the sign of the times where liberty's dead and the justice is blind. find Mitch McConnell's connection to moving kilos of coke, while other Republicans defend chamos and drones. Stone cold killers sending more troops to Iraq, but it's the exact same thing with the fucking Democrats. Happenstance used to prosecute domestic threats, but the real threats, the military-industrial complex. Spetsnaz fighting NATO mercenaries in the nets. Reflexive action with no American pretext. Let's just ignore the world war knocking on our door. Secessionist movements and no help for the poor. Scorn in the eyes of the flag-waving fools. Who can even remember their lessons in school, much less a constitution? So how can we teach them how to exercise your rights and how to respect your freedom? See them arming local cops with machine guns. Don't believe in separating dirty cops from the clean ones. It's like finding politicians that actually care, or a peace prize winner with some piece of stare. Stare at the new age gods looking all too cute. It's just an illusion, that's just the state of the union. It's all an illusion. That's just the state of our union.
It's the power in the people, the many and the few, the ones that run the globe, and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples, the tab is coming due soon, the ones that leech off of our collective revenue. They say absolute power corrupts absolutely, but I've seen a little bit do exactly the same. There's no escape from the shackles of society's mammals. When you base your self-worth off of what you get paid, the drug addiction in veins got the poisons ingrained, but all they gon' do is give you methadone anyway. Swapping one devil for another, the camera lens and the shutter. Happiness is just a couple more pills away. I laugh at the wannabe thugs because the doctor's selling drugs in quantities that would make Pablo Escobar blush. Yuck, is sick like hypochondria. There's drone strikes in Somalia, but all the TV wanna do is talk about Donald Trump. It's the power in the people, the many and the few, the ones that run the globe, and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples, the tab is coming due soon, the ones that leech off of our collective revenue. It's the power in the people, the many and the few, the ones that run the globe, and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples, the tab is coming due soon, the ones that leech off of our collective revenue. You seen the propaganda news about the North Korean nukes, though America's still the only one to drop them. They talk more about the playoffs than guys like Bernie Madoff. It makes you wonder if our country isn't really the problem. There's plenty political fiction and on the television they do their best to make the snakes seem so heavenly. And when you look for truth and it were but a voting booth, they try to disappear you like MH370. A couple million dead on Iraq, you know they can't take you back, so they delude themselves by waving the flag. With all the people we've hurt, you gotta ask if it's worth seeing your loved ones come home in a fucking body bag. It's the power in the people, the many and the few, the ones that run the globe, and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples, the tab is coming due soon, the ones that leech off of our collective revenue. It's the power in the people, the many and the few, the ones that run the globe, and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples, the tab is coming due soon, the ones that leech off of our collective revenue. When will all the bodies burn and the bloody lessons learned turn the populace away from a cultural war? The politicians can only make it by first creating the hatred of a certain group in the minds of the poor. See, the people want to profit, but the only way to stop it is to stop playing the same old games. To make it abundantly clear, even the fish out here have been found laced with traces of Paxil and cocaine. Where is the outrage at the tyrannical rampage? We're one executive order away from getting shot in the street. And until we start to stand as every woman and man, the oppression we're facing daily will never really cease. It's the power in the people, the many and the few, the ones that run the globe, and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples. The tab is coming due soon. The ones that leech off of our collective revenue. It's the power in the people, the many and the few. The ones that run the globe and the ones like me and you. It's the towers and the steeples. The tab is coming due soon. The ones that leech off of our collective revenue. This song is dedicated to Diesel Automatic. Power to the people.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Bill, if you are so concerned about public figures being bad role models for children, please stop rudely interrupting your guests and telling them to shut up. Well, the shut up line has happened only once in 6 years, Ms. Evans.
Well, I think that asking a student to stay in the closet in order to go to school is a lot like asking an African-American
No.
student.
Want to know what I'm doing? Shut up.
Please don't tell me to shut up.
Respect. Why did you have to tell him you were an atheist if you didn't have any trouble reading the oath? Why didn't you just shut up? What Jimmy Carter should do is privately give Mr. Bush's opinion and shut up publicly. That would be best for the country. And it is our duty as loyal Americans to shut up once the fighting begins. Once the war against Saddam begins, we expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up.
Familiar with the microphone language is why parents can't stand me. It's the sum of all fears on rap. Music's Tom Clancy, fancy manners can hide the most insidious lies. Wide awake America, read in between the lines. Slime running whole countries like some of them do Aziz. Or our own presidents, all rotten to the T. DEA and FBI working with domestic terrorists, trying to contrive a new lie to scare us with, so they can always justify another budget increase. That's how you know the war on terror will never cease. 666, the mark of the beast, also known as Mystery Babylon. Israeli terrorists by night, arming a nuclear bomb inside a major American indoor sports arena, killing tens of thousands while they laughing like hyenas. But here's where it gets even worse, it's blamed on Iran. Now we finally got World War III live on our hands because Russia and China both chomping at the bit to call America out on its braggadocious bullshit. The F-35 was a big gas disappointment because government contractors care less about products than employment. Ointment can't be burned from depleted uranium. And white phosphorus raining down, watch as it's bathing them. This isn't big bad America picking on kids like cowards. It's a clash of heavily armed nuclear first world powers. Sour is the bile rising in the back of my throat. Drones target nuclear facilities overdue to explode. Oh no, now half the country's living in the dark. Massive panic as the masses start to tear themselves apart. Start trying to escape, but now you're stuck in traffic. Troop movements getting closer, time to watch the sheep panic, frantic, running towards our soldiers, getting shot on sight. Invading forces are just the same, killing the occupied. It's eugenic depopulation within the constraints of war. Elites and underground bases fully stopped the kids before. Hordes of people being sprayed with biological agents. Losing their minds violent, so nobody can save them. Waving helicopters down, assassins take through the sky. But a rocket-propelled grenade hits, they crash into the side. Eyes wide as the Chinese paratroopers start descending, transforming this country into something more demented. A mass killing field for all those that revel in death, all for the propaganda in a presidential address. I CBMs rumble too, life in a snap, while capitals like Moscow and Tehran are wiped off of the map. Ask the Congress mean nothing when the nation's aflame. A populace cut in half, blast from bullets and blades. I made this song to show you the future in a couple years, if we don't band it together and face the sum of all fears.
Man, there's been so many changes around, so many things just keep moving. It's like time never stops. It's like a cruel joke. In fact, I had something to say about it. Just see what you think, dude.
See, things they always change, and yet they stay the same. A strange contradiction where we still waste away. Not the time in all our days, or the sum of all our pain can break the blades ancestors made, or even fade the shame. The strain inside my brain, and that weight upon my back. The patience in my heart, as I try to make it last. The clock's ticking fast, and the beer's getting flat. How many more 16s does a fool like me need to rap? See, it's not just a job, and it's not just the odds. I do this for much more than respect or applause. And all because you saw me rap just for the cause. To educate the people before the slow holocaust. The answer's always not quite the way you thought. I've got to spark my art so that the truth isn't lost. Our lives are but a water drop in the ocean of life. The two are really one, changes come from inside. Just so many changes. The sky starts to darken and the blood starts to boil. 10,000 more troops sent to die over oil. State Department funded provocateurs, setting fires, insane amounts of power. CERN, Large Hadron Collider, deforestation, destroying keystone species biosphere. And genetic recombinants in the land of the weird. Technotronic robotic soldiers, drones comprise autonomous armies. Hypersensitive sonic sensors locate targets based on heartbeats, retarding future generations with gross malnutrition. The government propaganda in the school on television. Wisdom is reviled, stifled by the thought police, patrolling futuristic feasts and consuming the weak. Street lights fitted with facial recognition software. The thought of an uprising keeps the militarized cops scared. Ironic institution, National Endowment for Democracy. I know there's gotta be something meta, man, there's just gotta be. One nation under Satan, this country is forsaken. Escape the mental vagrants, stand up and make a statement. Elated pagan statesman, Bohemian Grove on a Reagan. Watch your rights get taken before you see the sheep awaken to blatant execution of the U.S. Constitution. We'll have to fight a revolution to end the global pollution. Lending institutions inducing predatory illusion. We're all part of the problem, now let's be the solution. Radioactive waste by the ton buried in Hanford. A poison landscape and people is the American standard. The movers and the shakers gathered in the secret society. Pseudo-ancient wisdom, spirits of evil inside of the members of the order. Expanding global control. See them selling their souls for their influence and gold. And God we trust is really talking about the devil. Masonic symbolism on printed bills, 13 is special. Medals for murderers, life in prison for heroes. COINTELPRO and the Federal Investigation Bureau. Like Travis Provo, they call me the disobedient citizen. I stand against oppressive government and its proxy militants. Living with fetal cells in the Pepsi Cola you're drinking. Splendid causing leukemia, what the fuck are they thinking? Not much, just finding new ways to dominate. The brutal third world hell of hate they intend to create. One nation under Satan, this country is forsaken. Escape the mental vagrants, stand up and make a statement. Elated pagan statesman, Bohemian Grove on a Reagan. Watch your rights get taken before you see the sheep awaken to blatant execution of the U.S. Constitution. We'll have to fight a revolution to end the global pollution. Lending institutions inducing predatory illusions. We're all a part of the problem, now let's be the solution.
By the way, they're allowed to smoke here whenever they like.
Come on, let's go and find some kicks.
Investigate before you invest in health services or products.
Thank you.
I'm Raymond Massey, and I have a special message for senior citizens. This fake device claimed to cure cancer with tape-recorded music. Like this Zeret applicator, for example, which is claimed to cure arthritis with Z-rays. There are no Z-rays.
This has been a public service announcement from the Food and Drug Administration in cooperation with this station.
Words are much more than just something we say. They're information communicated to our very DNA. Played the founding fathers, owned slaves. So don't wonder why this nation's wasting in its grave. But hey, don't let that sully your outlook on life. Everything's so much more complex than just what lies in our sight. We can't even hit light speed in our species' fastest craft. Even the sun is insignificant in the cosmos so vast. Ask anybody they know, they'll tell you they know nothing. The man that says he knows it all is just frontin'. That's why whenever I get on the mic, I gotta say something, so I can share what I learned, not just another country bumpkin, curmudgeon. So call me an avatar of resistance, puffing on a joint, pondering the finer points of existence. Running on fumes, but dude, I don't need that assistance. Coming back to the start, no matter how far the distance. We're living on a heavenly body, spinning through space. One of an infinite number, so fuck all the cliches. Weigh the choices that lie before you make your choice. Here in this little dot, spinning inside the void. Deployed space planes in our own solar system, unlimited, primitive, despite them spending billions. It puts into perspective the true human value of life. They'll let you starve in the street while chasing the night sky. Words are much more than just something we say. They're information communicated to our very DNA. Play the founding fathers, owned slaves. So don't wonder why this nation's wasting in its grave. But hey, don't let that sully your outlook on life. Everything's so much more complex than just what lies in your sight. We can't even hit light speed in our species' fastest craft. Even the sun is insignificant in the cosmos so vast. Words are much more than just something we say. They're information communicated to our very DNA. Play the founding fathers, owned slaves. So don't wonder why this nation's wasting in its grave. But hey, don't let that sully your outlook on life. Everything's so much more complex than just what lies in your sight. We can't even hit light speed in our species' fastest craft. Even the sun is insignificant in the cosmos so vast. Past, future, and present lie behind and before us. Remember the opening line from the chorus? Words aren't just some strange colloquialism. The sonic resonance with information if you listen. Imprisoned in a construct of our own self-loathing, when really we should be out there exploring, testing ourselves and expanding our purpose. Because a mind that is closed is a mind that is worthless. Wordless statements like those made in conquest speak even louder than beheadings and bomb threats. Smoke a couple bowls for those who died and give a little time to think about the reason why. Why we have a country at war with the world. Pigs in the mud step on a string of pearls. The lessons of our history swept under the rug. So broke I'm selling blood just to make a couple bucks. Words are much more than just something we say. They're information communicated to our very DNA. Play the founding fathers, owned slaves. So don't wonder why this nation's wasting in its grave. But hey, don't let that sully your outlook on life. Everything's so much more complex than just what lies in your sight. We can't even hit light speed in our species' fastest craft. Even the sun is insignificant in the cosmos so vast. Words are much more than just something we say. They're information communicated to our very DNA. Play the founding fathers,
own slaves. So don't wonder why this nation's wasting in its grave. But hey, don't let that sully your outlook on life. Everything's so much more complex than just what lies in your sight. We can't even hit light speed in our species' fastest craft. Even our sun is insignificant in cosmos so vast. Laugh, because it might be the last time you can. When's the last you remember things going according to plan? Stand still long enough and you'll start growing roots. Spit rhymes long enough, become a part of the booth. You'll find that time like mine's usually moves in one direction, and it's damn hard to prepare for the unexpected. Reflections of yesterday's demons, like the state-sponsored murder of many for treason. Breathing in the toxins from the trails in the heavens. Selling poison to the people, propaganda got them believing. Vegan lifestyles are somehow crazy and wrong, and while I'm not one, I'll always support them in my songs. Long removed from the sleep that the Matrix bestows. So now I use my rhymes to try to expose those who think themselves as the uppermost caste, when they really mean nothing in a cosmos so vast.
Exploitation on an international level. The love of money created our societal devils. The same evils that we've embraced since the ages of old. Control of the evolution of planetary control. Mold the youth into tomorrow's new slaves. While international banks make the currency deflate. It's liberation theology mixed with monetary oppression. A justification of militaristic aggression. Stretching lies and highs wide as they can make them fucking go. The snake oil salesman of yesterday became a critical political official. Situational awareness programs run by the CDC. Using vaccines to create a whole nation of sheep. Liberty weeps at the grave of habeas corpus. The American eagle is the new age hawk, a Horus of horror distortion of historic portions. A society thriving, forcing over 1 billion abortions. The culture is based on greed, a society's predatory. Let's take it back to the cave, straight from Plato's allegory. Life is like a horror story, but the monsters of men, your life is worth much more than that little money you spend. Sending troops off to die while General Dynamics gets rich. With Raytheon making billions off the U.S. government. Defense is really war, but you know they'll never make the budget cuts. Watch them seething like leeches, steady looking for blood. The media is controlled by ghouls like some in the Redstone, while the average Joe can't even get a fucking home loan. No throne can stand forever, even though it's made of gold will all fall to ruin as it loses control. Notice motion tracking cameras on every other street light, while the average citizen has no more than a weed pipe. We'd like to believe that everything's going fine, but we all know it's totally fucked in the back of our minds. The radiation leaks still continue at Fukushima, and they expect me to keep a cool and calm demeanor. Yeah, right. In what kind of world would I do that? Which is why every couple of days I'm putting out a new rap. Who knew that? I can flow better than most. I'm just hustling on a budget, rustling up a couple new posts. Those that can't dig it can change the fucking song. I'll rap for fans until the very day my voice is gone. The culture is based on greed, a society's predatory. Let's take it back to the cage, straight from Plato's allegory. Life's like a horror story, but the monsters are men. Your life is worth much more than the money you spend. Sending troops off to die while General Dynamics gets rich. With Raytheon making billions off the U.S. government. Defense is really war, but you know they'll never make the budget cuts. Watch them seething like leeches, steady looking for blood. Police are predatory, filling quotas with tickets. Training a new generation with the sound of guns clicking. Remember, afraid to be pulled over lest they get cavity search. You can be detained randomly for blood work. So, this is what they call the land of the brave. More like the land of the fucking punk. This getting played, sprayed with hoses once, but now they're spraying with lead. No amount of vest on your chest can protect from 2 shots to the head. Eric Garner getting choked to death for selling cigarettes. Do you really need to ask me if we're being oppressed yet? I'm not usually one to just say fuck the cops, but if the shoe fits, bitch, you can wear that shit and walk. Blood clot in your veins from severe eternal bruising. This is what happens to a land that finds police brutality amusing. Alex Jones has become a pawn of the politically driven system. That's why I do my own research, so wake the fuck up and listen. The culture is based on greed, our society's predatory. Let's take it back to the cave, straight from Plato's allegory. Life is like a horror story, but the monsters are men. Your life is worth much more than the little money you spend. Sending troops off to die while General Dynamics gets rich. With Raytheon making billions off the U.S. government. Defense is really war, but you know they'll never make the budget cuts. Watch them seething like leeches, steady looking for blood. society's predatory. Our society's predatory. What is the optimal logic in the state of deception? There's uber violent thugs with badges. Much disrespect, kid. Live for the now and also live for the future. See the elongated Peruvian schools with no parietal suture forward marching mad to their own dystopia. Like the Khmer Rouge run genocide in Cambodia. Odious debt, affairs set to collect it. Intent the news content you watch has been incorrected. Get the fuck off your phone, start doing some research. Tyrants fucking liberty so hard, it's making their knees hurt. Thieves burn bridges when they steal your foreign resources, leaving kids orphans, if not dead, they're remorseless. Black masks, black clothes, black guns, they look the part, just like the other terrorists. Our presidents have armed guards by the dozens for corporate heads and politicians, just waiting for the day the people stop being victims. Welcome to the uneducated slaves of America, a land where corporate politicians want to marry a gay couple and everybody flips a fucking lid, but kill a million Iraqis and nobody says shit. It's a place where the biggest crooks have total control, where National Socialism is the basic stock and mold, and the law favors only the ultra rich, because the fake goddess Columbia is a real fucking bitch. It's making me sick, the way they talk down to us. Multitudinous mountainous countenance of a modern day Judas ghost system, leading the rest to the slaughter. Some speaking the truth do, but I'm taking it much farther. Rhymes hitting harder, the more bars I write. Start 2 songs in the morning and finish 4 by night. Right to the point of the topic, the truth unencrypted. Literally, the only thing you gotta do is listen. Time's ticking away while you sit in a trance. My rhymes are an informational avalanche. Manchurian candidate, CIA sleeper cells. Every bomb dropped, mortar launched, bullet shot was felt. El Salvador, a covert war to move the dope here. Indigenous tribes, U.S. genocide, conscious controlling many by fear. Mere moments away, the new cartel esoterica, coming with guns from uneducated slaves from America. Welcome to the uneducated slaves of America, a land where corporate politicians want to marry a gay couple and everybody flips a fucking lid, but kill a million Iraqis and nobody says shit. It's a place where the biggest crooks have total control, where National Socialism is the basic stock and mold, and the law favors only the ultra rich, because the fake goddess Columbia is a real fucking bitch. Welcome to the uneducated slaves of America, a land where corporate politicians want to marry a gay couple and everybody flips a fucking lid, but kill a million Iraqis and nobody says shit. It's a place where the biggest crooks have total control, where National Socialism is the basic stock and mold, and the law favors only the ultra rich, because the fake goddess Columbia is a real fucking bitch. This chaos coming closer, see our time is running out. Project Bluebeam, religious figures coming down from the clouds. How can we expect to live in a world of constant war? It's such a bitch, the cost of which is more than we can afford. Lord have mercy on us all, if you even exist at all. And if not, we'll still stand tall together before we fucking fall. Will we really? Can you feel me? Nervous, urgent, tension, overload. The blood is spilled with millions killed, the hourglass is running low. Flowing freely down the mountainside like pyroclastic mud. My third eye's open, my heart is broken when I see the blood and guts spread out upon the ground, surrounding bodies torn apart. Machine gun fire from helicopters slaughtered in the darkest spots. We ought to stop it all before we get consumed in deadly flames. But everyone treats everything like it's just some fucking game. It's fucking lame, a fucking joke. Time grinds us underneath its spokes, and we'll keep turning. World is burning year in, year out, getting old. We've been told it's all a lie inside of mass proportions. Television, fact distortion, truth contortions, orphans from the war on terror, all in error. Like the evil war on drugs, they send the poor to die in war. Back home, it's cops that act like thugs, blood of fools like useless tools, just living a politician. trigger. People divided, coinciding with the total fracture fissure. Is your faith in humanity stronger than your faith in money? Coming to a crossroads, time to stand with me, a turn from me, a flood of fools like useless dudes, just living to pull a trigger. People divided, coinciding with the total social fracture fissure. Is your faith in humanity stronger than your faith in money? Coming to a crossroads, time to stand with me, a turn from this chaos coming closer. See, our time is running out. Project Bluebeam, religious figures coming down from the clouds. How can we expect to live in a world of constant war? It's such a bitch, the cost of which is more than we can afford. Lord, have mercy on us all, if you even exist at all. And if not, we'll still stand tall together before we fucking fall. Will we really? Can you feel me? Nervous, urgent, tension overload. The blood is spilled with millions killed, the hourglass is running low. How many more 16s do I need to rap before you get it? We don't need a DOD, just a giant fence electric, though not along the border, rather surrounding our nation's capital. So all the crooks and hatred mongers can take the extended sabbatical. If they want to start a war so bad, then let them fight each other. If they only last a couple months, we won't be left to wonder who it was that pushed us to our own near extinction. With genocide and democide, killing most of the thinking members of the populace, also known as intelligentsia. See, they always kill them first and try them later. In absentia, TV dementia, we need adventure, forth into a brighter day. Or we may just waste away until we live our lives to change. But ain't it strange the games they play? Just ask a theosophist. A revolution, a new age, slaves, the wise must rise and put a stop to it. No prophet in the Old Testament, the new or the newest, could prophesy the lies we believed in. It's time to do this. This chaos coming closer, see, our time is running out. Project Bluebeam, religious figures coming down from the clouds. How can we expect to live in a world of constant war? It's such a bitch, the cost of which is more than we can afford. Lord, have mercy on us all, if you even exist at all. And if not, we'll still stand tall together before we fucking fall. Will we really? Can you feel me? Nervous, urgent, tension overload. The blood is spilled with millions killed, the hourglass is running low. If I don't do more than vote, the cops will grab you by the throat. In just a couple years, your wife in tears, she sees your nose get broke. Just for walking after dark and looking at the fascist heart, forever sloth or not. Now in the open air, prison guards, eugenics principles of the present based on racism and incest. When I hear artists quoting Darwin, I'm not really that impressed. Lies entrenched so deep into the minds of the sheep that they'd rather believe than admit they don't know a thing. Clean your pineal gland and start filtering your water. Author a news article, don't be a land of the slaughter. Farther than most, I speak straight from the depths of my own soul. Holding back no longer because I'm getting big and I'm bold. Oh shit, you know it, channel that diesel auto flow. Power to the people and all that, Joe. But the gangsterism's gotta go. Low on funds but high in spirit. Can you hear it in the lyrics? Death is just a part of life, don't let them make you fear it. Death is just a part of life, don't let them make you fear it. Death is just a part of life, don't let them make you fear it. Death is just a part of life, don't let them make you fear it. Death is just a part of life, don't let them make you fear it. This chaos coming closer, see, our time is running out. Project Bluebeam, religious figures coming down from the clouds. How can we expect to live in a world of constant war? It's such a bitch, the cost of which is more than we can afford. Lord, have mercy on us all, if you even exist at all. And if not, we'll still stand tall together before we fucking fall. Will we really? Can you feel me? Nervous, urgent, tension overload. The blood is spilled with millions killed, the hourglass is running low.
Let us not forget that after the First World War, it was the British and the French who sliced up the Middle East and North Africa with no respect or empathy for the indigenous people of those lands. Now this, what we are talking about today, is not a problem in Britain, it is a problem with the world. It is a problem of imperialism. It is a problem of a system which places importance and places priority on big business ahead of human life.
Blood on your hands and there's blood in the streets. There's blood in the church and on hospital sheets. The chemicals you inject directly to your bloodstream, or worse than a dope fiend. The propaganda's obscene. Mercury found in the form of thimerosal, bound aluminum molecules, never reaching terror walls, just floating freely through your circulatory system. A trace amount of formaldehyde is safe. No, bro, it isn't. The UN sterilized millions of Kenyan women who tetanus vaccines spiked with fetal antigen. The racist persuasion is blatantly seen. African-American boys more susceptible to autism from vaccines. Ethylene, diamine, tetraacetic acid, monosodium glutamate, polysulfate in your veins with ammonium sulfate. So cancer is death in the eugenics prison of the present. Now let's go get some flu shots with their antidepressants.
Repellent to the well-informed like water and oil. Let's bury them in the soil. Bank cards wrapped in foil. Royals have more influence here than American citizens. The threat to America isn't going to come from foreign immigrants living in ghettos, but from the science cult of the elite. They meet at Bilderberg every May till the land's complete. Defeat of all those like me who blaspheme illumination. Whatever Edward Jenner couldn't even fathom vaccination.
They're selling poison pills, sugar substitutes to kill. Will you be able to resist the pure domination of will through the advertising campaigns aimed to make you buy a bunch of meaningless bullshit that's not really relevant? Why? Because they want you to beg for your own destruction. Authorization of unilateral military force instructions functions to create a police state built upon hatred, especially to those who don't vaccinate their kids. But wait, there's more, like the animal fetal cells injected beneath the skin, causing more harm than you could tell. Well, first in vaccine additives, I know the pink book by heart, like how you shot up with human cells when vaccinated for MMR, because your body's immune response creates self-destructive antibodies with serious risk of encephalitis due to science of shoddy. Body counts to 1,000, autism skyrockets. Listen to the television while Merck makes a profit.
Repellent to the well-informed like water and oil. There's barium in the soil. Bank cards wrapped in foil. Royals have more influence here than American citizens. The threat to America isn't gonna come from foreign immigrants living in ghettos, but from the science cult of the elite. They meet at Bilderberg every May till their plan's complete. Defeat of all those who like me blaspheme illumination. Whatever Edward Jenner couldn't even fathom vaccination.
Your child's brain is swelling up, leading to wicked symptoms. Decide to forgo it all, and you just might get sent to prison. Living in a land where the hospitals peddle dope. The Hippocratic Oath is just a hypocritical joke. Hope and change are just a couple weak slogans meant to attract the masses while keeping them voting. Broken systems are totally unequal representation. Your tax money will never get spent correctly. Just wasted Asian bird flu, hyped up just like they did Ebola. Put it the onus of fear, sheer and swear upon your shoulders. Folders full of your most confidential info. You'd be better served throwing your baby out a window than letting them go to a child care center. They're killing more children than even they care to remember. September 11th was not the first time something got blown up, but the perpetrators weren't right, so now they give a fuck. Repellent to the well-informed, like water and oil, there's barium in the soil. Bank cards wrapped in foil. Royals have more influence here than American citizens. A threat to America isn't gonna come from foreign immigrants living in ghettos, but from the science cult of the elite. They meet at Bilderberg every May till the plan's complete. Defeat of all those who, like me, blaspheme illumination. Whatever Edward Jenner couldn't even fathom vaccination. Money is the driving factor of a sources of decay. Watch the corporate master fashion exploiters sort of get paid. Wait through the stench of a processing plant, or work your hands to the bone at a job you can't stand. It doesn't really matter, all big business is the same. If you're too big to fail, you get bailed out by the banks. No matter what mistakes or illegal shit you've been up to, because you take State Department funded Qs. What they once called renewable energy is really hydraulic fracturing. Sandy Hook was a false flag run by coal manufacturing to get the competition out of the picture faster. Bushmaster closed down not that long after. A completely staged event run with tons of crisis actors, masters of nothing but the lies they espouse. So why would you ever expect change from the White House when you and I already know what they're all about?
Profit over people. They want the profit over people. They love the profit over people. They want the profit over people. Profit over people. They value profit over people. They treasure profit over people. There ain't no profit for the people. I can see him trying to blame 9/11 on Iran while claiming Saudi Arabia's a mule. Dude, I don't understand. Damn, the mockery of justice is the U.S. Supreme Court. It says corporations of people, modern day serfdoms above war. Warfare of the mind, mental, militant, guerrilla tactics. Active pineal projection of quadratic mathematics. Impacting synaptic invasions of an astral echelon. Encephalon, the death upon pseudo-spiritual restaurant. One of the best upon the microphone when it comes to conspiracy theory. Near the truth when you're hearing it clearly. Wearily retell tales of the shadow government. Muttering curses while the weakest sheep are slumbering, grumbling about how they so badly want something much better, and fettered by the chains of the criminal debt collectors, aggressors that use a stack of paper to devalue your worth, to devalue a soul, to devalue the whole earth. Profit over people. They want the profit over people. They love the profit over people. They want the profit over people. Profit over people. They value profit over people. They treasure profit over people. There ain't no profit for the people.
American employment getting outsourced overseas. Think international regulations and corporate monopolies taking over industries, making competition die. We live in a land of cronyism, free markets are a lie. I believe in you and me, and if our transactions were free, we could fund the revolution and clean up our society. Lie to me daily. Tell me I'm the one killing the planet. Just ignore the corporate wars, poisoning everything. Damn it, valid questions about the environmental impact left unanswered. Sometimes I find our species just a form of global cancer, but then I remember it's all self-loathing propaganda, an excuse for resource management, extravaganza. Fuck the United Nations, they're run by the corporations for the purpose of replacing any counter demonstration. See, the Masons are paving the way to a new world order. Our only chances to wake up, stand together, and move forward.
Profit over people. They want the profit over people. They love the profit over people. They want the profit over people. Profit over people. They value profit over people. They treasure profit over people. There ain't no profit for the people.
There's nothing like the smell of Capitol in the morning. Smells like success. Yeah, fucking right, man. It's the very love of money that's the root of all evil. It makes men hate, kill, cheat, and speak deceitful. The people let material objects rule their deepest desires, so control of the globe flows from what the greed inspires. Besides, to the masses of vast and fashion, to those who know. Limited printing and devaluation due to explode. Slow your roll, young blood, when it's not the whole damn world. Not worth a life of bidding a pen and pimping some poor girl. You see, money's not even a true measurement of value. It's just a placeholder to the real wealth that is you. Your time, your effort, all that you spend your life doing. That's what's so ironic about the youth pursuing their own ruin, obsessive consuming the latest fashion and flair. New car, new house, new cell phone and TV. It's like you're scared of dying, so you're trying to live it up while you can. But it keeps your brain in chain because money don't make a man.
It's the wicked love of money. Everybody loves the money. But there's nothing more worthless, man. I guess it's kind of funny. The whole population is slave labor for paper. That's why they got you stealing from your neighbors later. It's the wicked love of money. Everybody loves the money. But there's nothing more worthless, man. I guess it's kind of funny. The whole population is slave labor for paper. That's why they got you stealing from your neighbors later. It's the wicked love of money.
It's a trick what some will do. Probably murder me for currency. The same as collateral damage. Hammers wearing surgeons. Look, when a bomb drops, it doesn't care who you are. It's just cash in the pockets of those who sell arms. Marks getting calm beyond belief is the American way. While the passive masses struggle under crony capitalism's weight. State-controlled television dim with spewing lies of the dough. Stolen cars alone account for a quarter of those. So old lessons always seem to be the hardest to learn. And the hardest bridges to build are the ones you've already burned. Words fail to describe just how evil the love of money is. Without a doubt, it's the quickest route to the hell we live in it. Then there's gotta be another way against the life agree. But not as long as you think corporations got what you need. Just remember that money isn't really a form of wealth. It's just a proxy of power that is you, the valued self.
It's the wicked love of money. Everybody loves the money. But there's nothing more worthless, man. I guess it's kind of funny. The whole population is slave labor for paper. That's why they got you stealing from your neighbors later. It's the love of money.
Come on, everybody, do a dance called the Reaper Shuffle. All you gotta do is just ignore the grave digger shovel. Muscle always decays and that money always spins. And every form of life just turns to dust in the end. Begin to figure it out, and now you're labeled as crazy. Smoke a little herb, now you're labeled as lazy. Amazing that our species ever got this far. Everyone's so high-strung, like a fucking guitar. And all at the way people live in denial, waiting for heaven. Life is passing right by you. Inside you is the power to change what is. Kinda like the platitudes the school system teaching our kids. It's true though, you're worth far more than you know. Like tell me, what kind of price tag would you put on your soul? Stolen land from the natives, defended by deadly force. But we still call America the land of peace, of course. Or space motherfuckers like Warren Buffett in charge of race wars in America where the power is God. I want to see the public become aware that mass intimidation is the only way to make us scared enough to consent to whatever evil they inflict. It's like the very fear of death, you know they fucking worship it. A murder fit that's got you cheering them in the street while you telling a man like Smoke that he don't have freedom of speech. Reach for something much better than who you are today. The introspective kind is the greatest form of change. Veins popping in the head of the joint chiefs are stabbed because Smoke will look them all in the face and start to laugh. Ask anyone that knows me, they'll tell you the same thing, that I'm a man whose heart will always stay free. Just like the music that I put out on the regular, from the macrocosm to the bio-molecular. Speculative sentences structured not just to inform, but to entertain as well. Just watch my words swarm, never the norm, but rather something far different. Every song I write fights against imperialism and vision a lifetime with no mass warfare. No famine, no drought, no ass selling sportswear. It's got to exist somewhere in our universe, but we've got to do the Reaper Shuffle a couple of times first.
Freedom of speech is bullshit. Just like freedom of assembly, freedom of business, freedom of choice, freedom of dress, freedom of expression, freedom of food, freedom of guns, freedom of health, freedom of identity, freedom of journalism, freedom of knowledge, freedom of love, freedom of movement, freedom of navigation, freedom of occupation, freedom of task.
First of all, big props to all of you who listen to this album. My music would be nothing without you. Also, my sincerest gratitude for every producer featured on Death and Taxes. Album number 2, check it out. Guarantee your ass will love it. But for now, everyone featured on this work of art: Vargas, Case G, Mr. Quest, FXM Black, Shine Beats, Infinite, Mad Dog Entertainment, Blunt Tactics, Tuna Beats, Emma Beats, DYEB, Tower Beats, Chuki Beats, Hood to Hand, Profound Beats, and finally Sunnyside Creative Company. Thanks to every last one of you for being a part of Resistance and making Resistance a reality. Free album number 3. That's right, I said number 3 in 2 months. How's that for productive? Big props to everyone that supported me thus far. I'm sure my rhymes have offended damn near everyone at one point or another. So thank you for sticking with Smoke. Please support the producers on this album, as my rhymes are meant to showcase their work. Finally, please share this album with everyone you can. The information on it is critical. Thank you again, and together stand tall, but don't stand at all. This is the one and only Smoke, signing off. Peace, peace.